pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we need a motion for approval of agenda, please.
Make a motion to approve the agenda that's presented.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. And second by Ms. Brenda. Call for vote. Looks like it's unanimous. All right, next up, we got presentations. We got Miss Joy Folkson coming up for the school calendars.
How are y'all? Good.
Hey, good evening.
Good. So I am presenting the 2024 and 2025 school calendar and also the 2025-2026 school calendar to y'all. So this year, based on some feedback from last year, we let each school come up with their own dream calendar. So the teachers were asked their thoughts, feedback. Each school presented us with a school calendar. We sent it out, and the schools had 4 calendars to vote on. So the one that you have in, I guess, Miss Tammy, on the computer is the one that won. So we took that calendar and then just made the next year's calendar based on this one. Any questions?
How close was it to being the dream calendar?
Yeah.
Well, we
the
had
votes?
4 different ones. So one had 19 votes, one had 72 votes, one had 9 votes, and the winner had 119 votes. So I really was predicting there would be 2 close calendars and we'd have to have a runoff, but it was like 48, 49 votes difference.
Gotcha.
So,
I've
and
got
they were all very similar.
Gotcha.
All 4 of them was very, very similar.
How many days have we got each semester on here?
88 and 88, just
Okay.
like last year. So
Okay.
kids are 176 and teachers have 14 in-service days, work days.
Are we required to have 14 in-service days on teachers? Okay.
We are not. That's just what we do, the 176, where most, really, pretty much every other county around us are doing 180 for kids. But we do 176 to give our teachers an additional 4 work days. So we felt like that was very important for our teachers to have planning and work days.
Okay. I had another question on it.
Okay?
Why are we doing 2 years of calendars at the same time? Did that go around to the teachers that we would do 2 years?
No, it didn't. We just said this was our dream calendar, and we did this back COVID year. We were going to start trying to adopt 2 years.
And that's when we had problems because we ended up sending kids to school after graduation.
No, that's when COVID happened, and we had to keep coming back, and we gave teachers work days at the beginning of the year. So that was 20, I guess when was COVID, 2020? 20?
Right.
Yes.
So I guess we had done that, and then the next year, so we had to keep updating it because we'd close school, and then, you know, I think we gave them like 2.5 weeks at the beginning of school.
I would like to see us only doing 1 year at a time myself.
Well, that's,
We're gonna
Totally
present,
up
we'll
to y'all.
present the 2, we're gonna present it as 2, and if you vote it down, so be it. We'll only have 1. But, you know, and I hadn't done a survey recently, but I know for many, many years, districts always did 2 years at a time. Now, is that still the trend? I don't know. I do know this, it's a very time-consuming on putting a calendar together. You spent countless hours in trying to do this, and when it really, what it boils down to is you're almost limited on what you can do when you're trying to keep the number of days equal because of the high school and them having 2 different semesters. It's just a lot of work for 1 year's worth of calendar.
and a lot of parents do go ahead and plan vacations and stuff the next year. So, you know, we felt like that would be a benefit because like Dr. Dixon said, a lot of counties do have 2 years at a time. And each school was given the guidelines that they had to go by and follow when they were making these calendars. So, again, we try to keep the semesters even, 88 days and 88 days. Now, your in-service does not have to be 7 and 7. That could be flexible. We had the March livestock show holiday that has to be in there. Typically, spring break's the first week of April, so you'll notice on the next year's calendar, the 25-26, it bumps down a week because of March going into Monday and Tuesday of 2026.
But it still falls on the first week.
The first week, yes.
Like
that's the only
Easter, I know this time is in the end of March. Do you
So
know kind of when?
This time it works perfectly. And I looked all this up, so next year it does not. It's
Okay.
like
Okay, I hadn't have a chance to
April.
look.
Oh my gosh, Ms. Brent, I can't quote it, but next year it does not work beautifully like that. But the next year, it's the maybe it was end of April, and then the 25-26. Let me look at this and think. I believe it was April 5th.
That's correct.
Was that right? So the next year it works good, because sometimes Easter works and sometimes,
Well, they ought to be
Yes.
appreciated to given a choice. When I was there, you just took what they gave
you
us,
never
so.
had a choice, that's right. Yes.
So you didn't
and-
have that problem.
Right, and I will be honest, I had a lot of feedback of, please don't have us do that again. That was so much work. It was so much, getting everybody to agree and all that, but we did want them to feel like they had a say, and they did have a say in voting,
Yeah.
And this was not just sent to teachers, it was sent to paras, it was sent to every faculty and staff member in our system. So everybody had a choice. Did everybody vote? No. They didn't. We had a total of 219, so most of the votes were teachers. But everybody had a say.
What were the major differences in the four, just big differences?
The major differences of the four was very little. It was, one of them started on a Monday. So the start date was a little bit different, and then your Christmas holidays, you had a day or two different right there. And that was really. The post-planning, yes. All the pre had 6. People like 6 at the beginning. So it was your post-planning that, personally, district office, we like 4 at the end. Teachers don't like 4 at the end. They pick the one with 2 at the end. So this was definitely their choice because it wouldn't have been mine, On 3 of the calendar, spring break was the same week of the one that was selected. And then option 2 had spring break a week later. So, they were very, very similar.
So on that half day, it wasn't really colored in, and it was just the 19th of December, is that the half day?
The 20th should be
Well, I'm
purple.
on 25, 26,
Oh,
sorry.
okay. It's
The
a little
20th.
tongue twister when you're talking about that far in advance. Which one, which one, Ms. Brenda, the 19th?
Well, look at 24, 25, so it's just that last color, not colored day, the 20th.
It's
And
not
they are
purple?
out, they start,
I think it.
Is that
I
purple?
think
It
it's
should be-
just real light.
It's a light purple.
It's very
Or it should
light.
be, unless it
well,
didn't
my eyes
go.
aren't that good,
Look on the
apparently.
screen.
I printed it at home, so
Look
I
on the
could.
computer screen. You see it's just a little shade. Can you see it?
A little, if y'all tell me that.
It's very little.
I would have never
Yeah.
noticed that.
It
Yeah.
is very vague.
Very light.
Huh?
Yeah,
Very light.
yes.
What was the confusion over, why did we go to school after graduation? It was last year?
It was last year.
Why did we carry over? What happened there?
I forgot.
To get the number of days in.
The 88 days?
Well, to get your total of 176 in, and to have graduation on that Friday before Memorial Day. So this graduation is on Memorial Day weekend on 2024 and 25-26. Because honestly, the way the calendar falls, there's no way to get graduation done before Memorial Day weekend. So, and unless you did coming back 2 days after, and one of the calendars did that. One calendar had that we would come back, I think it was option 3. One calendar had graduation on the 16th, and then our kids would come back the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And then we would have in-service days after that, and it got 9 votes.
All right.
So that was an option from one school.
So if I followed you right, the
Okay.
in-service, the 26th on May 25th, that's Memorial Day?
May 25th is.
May
Oh.
26th.
Well,
On
looking at
2024
which one you're looking
calendar,
on.
yes.
26 is the
Yes.
24, 25,
So we got in-service days after that, though?
and everybody's off on the Memorial Day.
Everybody's off on that Monday, but they will have to come back so they can get their 15 in-service days.
I know, a long time ago, we didn't get off Memorial Day. Everybody was ready just to go and
Yeah.
get through, so,
Yeah.
but I know times
Yeah,
have changed.
and I wish it would work out to where we could have graduation the 16th, but you just cannot get your days in, you know?
When do we graduate this year? This May. I hadn't looked that far
I got
ahead.
that other calendar in here
The
somewhere.
17th.
17th.
17.
So it worked out this year, but we gave up two, and I'm trying to remember, we gave up a holiday in February and one in March,
Okay,
which made the days work out, but on these two calendars, it just doesn't.
yeah, okay.
Any more questions?
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Ms. Foster, appreciate it. All right, next up, we've got Ms. Courtney Holly, she's going to have personnel first. Welcome.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Okay, so for personnel, we have 2 athletic recommendations. Talia Brown is assistant track coach. That was never filled. It was open. And then Margie Garcia as swim coach. I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was last year or the year before. Her daughter was a swimmer, diver, so when Dr. McPhee was here, we started the swim team under GHSA, and she coached, but it was her daughter. But we have a swimmer now, Harlow Delk, and Ms. Garcia has agreed to be her coach if approved. And then if you'll look, while we're on her, if you'll look at the sheet that has the head coach supplement, that's the amount that's recommended as her supplement there.
Where's
Where were
that?
you at?
On this one, I put it on your desk, I'm sorry, it's the highlighted one. It looks like this.
Okay.
I think we missed the first one, too. Besides her, who did you mention first in athletics?
So on your personnel sheet, it's
Oh.
Talia Brown, but there's no, you already approved that supplement on your personnel sheet.
So it must be down further. It's on here. All right,
You see it?
Okay, so not on this sheet, but your personnel sheet that's on your computer.
and who is it that we're looking for?
It's not on there.
I don't see it.
Tom?
Talia Brown. T-Y-A Brown, assistant track coach.
No, this sheet starts February 12th, 2024, sub-teachers.
Okay,
We got a different sheet then, I guess, but
okay.
it's all right.
All right, so 2 athletics, Talia Brown and Margie Garcia. And then 2 sub-teachers, Miss Inman and Miss Richardson. And then for nutrition, 2 subs. And then we have 3 retirements. Miss Harriet Johnson was a custodian at the elementary school. Miss Youngblood is the art teacher at the middle school. And Miss Morris is a history teacher at the middle school. And then resignations. You had Mackenzie Carter at the elementary school, Sailor Spires at the elementary school. Jessica Richardson is no longer wanting to be full-time nutrition. That's why she wanted to be on the sub-list for nutrition. Ollie McKinnon, paraprofessional at the high school. Donna Browning, LPN at the high school. And Alex Branch, high school teacher. Any questions on those recommendations?
That last one you just called wasn't on there.
Yeah, what,
Alex Branch.
at the high school, you said?
So the old one must be on there and the new one not on there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll go fix that one.
Where's Mr. Branch at right now?
He was at the high school. He was the one that got sick the first day of school, and he
okay.
hasn't been able to return.
Is he in?
I believe he's in
Concord
a
or something?
facility in Moultrie or
He's the one
Cockwood.
that had a stroke
I'm sorry,
from the high
What's he
in
doing?
Moultrie?
resigning.
He's resigning.
Yeah, okay, Cochran, somewhere there, yeah, I thought so, okay.
And what was Talia Brown doing again?
Assistant track. And I'll upload this when I get back to my seat, and I'll make y'all a copy of this.
Miss Holly,
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Ollie McKinnon, she called me and said she was wanting to come back. She didn't want to, resign. So, I don't know.
Yes, ma'am. We'll talk to her.
She's been here, what, 17 years or something? Long time.
Yes, sir.
She's a
Any-
coach, what's she the coach to? Basketball coach, right?
Miss McKinnon, I'm not sure if she coached basketball or
I heard-
not.
Yeah, I seen her out there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just started. Have y'all gonna replace her, or what's the, I guess you have to, probably.
Yes, sir. All right, any other questions before we get into administrator personnel? Okay, listed for administrator personnel, we have Johnny Beard, Sherry Breeden, Antonio Carter, Jeannie Dixon, Paul Dobson, Katie Folds, Joy Folsom, Leslie Folsom, Jennifer Green, Gabe Hammock, Laurel Hurd, Richard Heron, Courtney Holly, Matt Holly, Tanya McDaniel, Leslie McGilrath, Libby Peters, Becky Ratz, Allison Ray, Paula Simmons, Lana Siska, John Smith, Jackie Sparks, Joy Williams, Gerald Williams, and Larry Young. And that's directors, principals, and assistant principals. Any questions? Okay. Next, did you have the salary for Miss Libby Peters? Is that what you had next?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
that's a handout.
Yes, and that's on your, and it looks like this, and it's the salary sheets.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Libby asked for me to present these salary sheets. She did a salary crosswalk on surrounding counties, Lowndes, Tifton, Berrien, Cockwood, and she saw the need to do an increase that she has not done in a while for her nutrition staff. And you can see there that she went up an hourly rate, 1.5% increase. And then the first year, she went up 2.5 increase. We're not quite where those surrounding the larger surrounding counties are. But as far as smaller systems, we're in line with them. And she also wanted me to make a note that this year, our claiming rate, the amount of meals and kids that we can claim is 73.13. And next year, we'll be at 100%. So nutrition will be getting more funds on their claiming rate next year. So she thought this would be a good year to do that salary scale research and do a 1.5% increase on the hourly rate and the 2.5% increase on the first year across the board.
So what will make the difference from that 73 going to 100%? How has that changed?
Money-wise,
Is that what that is? I mean,
73%, so it'll just increase that 26.987% with the amount that she's bringing in on the meals served.
Oh, okay, so
At the
she
school.
knows she can do the 100%.
Right,
Okay.
so right now, she's only able to claim the 73%, but next year, she's already gotten word that all 100% will be able to be claimed, which will help with funds and
Okay.
budgeting.
All right, good.
Any other questions on her salary scales? Then if you'll see on the back page, she has the substitute food assistance pay scale, and it includes the ones with the Serve Safe certification, and then the ones that have not finished the certification based on the one course and then the one certificate. So if they have done that, they'll get $10.50. If they've completed the certification, then they'll get an extra $100 per year for the subbing. Any other questions?
We'll have the correct deal. Is it gonna be uploaded before we vote?
Right now, yep, I'm
You
about to
gonna
go
upload
upload
it?
it. Yes,
Okay.
sir. And I'm gonna give you a handout, a printed copy of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Next up, we've got Miss Leslie McElrath. If you can come forward.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. What I wanted to share with you, and it should be uploaded, is our determinations chart. And we get several report cards in special education, and this is one of the ones that we get, and I am very happy to say that we scored a perfect score. But I would like to share with you that that's the effort of everybody in this school district, not just myself. So we have a lot of people that make that happen. So what I wanted to do is just kind of give you a brief overview, try to make it quick, of what each of those mean, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about that. The very first thing that you'll see is indicator 4B, and that's the rates of suspension and expulsion for children with disabilities by racial and ethnic groups. So what that takes a look at is two different things: significant discrepancy, that compares our suspension rate to the state, and then significant disproportionality, and that compares our different racial and ethnic groups to each other for students with disabilities. And the target that you're looking for, they use something called a risk ratio and a rate ratio are the two ways that they determine that. You're looking for below 3%. So when you see that score there that we have scored the full amount of points, that lets you know that we have scored below 3% in that. The next section, indicator 9, is disproportionate representation of racial and ethnic groups in special education and related services. So the first one takes a look at the whole picture of special education. This second one breaks it down by race and ethnicity and identification. So that's the next indicator. The third indicator, all of these have to do with disproportionality. Indicator 10 is disproportionate representation of racial and ethnic groups in specific disability categories. So there are 12 disability categories in Georgia that we recognize, and it takes each one of those categories, for example, specific learning disability, and then it breaks it down from there into racial and ethnic groups. So how many Pacific Islanders do we have that are have a specific learning disability? You know, how many Asian students, black students? So it breaks it down like that, and that was below 3% as well, and it compares them to each other. The next one is general supervision, timely correction. So if you ever have an error in your reporting, then we do this reporting in June of every year. Then the state gives you 12 months to make those corrections and fix that. If you don't have any corrections, then you get a 2, and if you make the corrections, you get a 2. So we were good there. The next section, maintenance of effort. This is a federal requirement, and what it requires school districts to do is to make sure that they spend the same amount of money, either locally or local and state combined, as in previous years, on students in special education. And of course, we do that. Indicator 11 is initial evaluations, and this is what we call the child find rule. That's also a federal requirement. And what that means is that when we become aware of a child that might potentially have a disability and an evaluation is requested, that's an initial evaluation, and we have 60 days to get that done. If we go over the 60 days, then there's some repercussions for that. So just to kind of give you an idea of how many evaluations we do, on this particular determination, we had 63 initial evaluations. 3 of those were babies can't wait. Our evaluations have gone up. This year so far, in February, we're at 71 initial evaluations with 6 babies can't wait. So we have seen a trend in increasing on those evaluations. So far this year, we've done 127 evaluations, so that's including initial, and then every 3 years we have to reevaluate students. Indicator 12, I mentioned just a second ago about babies can't wait. That's what indicator 12 is. So Part C of IDEA, the law that governs special ed, has to do with children that are age 0 to 3. So one of the requirements is that by the time a child with a disability or potential disability turns 3 and they're referred to us by Babies Can't Wait, we have to evaluate them and have an IEP in place by the time they are 3 years old. So that means that we really start working with these families when children are 2 and a half. And we met that requirement. Indicator 13 is on the other end of the spectrum. So it means that this is post-secondary goals. A year after a student with a disability graduates from high school, we have to find that student and see what they're doing. Are they doing what we prepared them to do? And I'm very proud to say, we would like that to be 100%, but 94% of our students are doing what we prepared them to do. That could be going to VOTEC school, to college, to working for our students with severe disabilities, going to a day rehab, and working there. So we would like that to be 100%, but we did meet our target on that. The last one is timely and accurate data. So there's 13 areas that get reported to the state, and several people at the central office are responsible for a lot of these things. Those things like, of course, our budgets, FTE reporting, CPI reporting, excess costs, student records, student class. There's 13 of those. So this is just saying that we reported those things on time and we reported it accurately. So all that gave us a 100, which we're very proud of. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, when was the last time we had 100 in Cook County?
Well, most of the time we have a 100 in Cook County. We did have one little glitch, but that resulted in a 95. But other than that, every year we've had 100s.
Good.
Very good.
Keep up the good work.
On special ed, I know it takes a special heart. It's kind of a calling, I guess, for teachers and the parapros to help them assist and manage them. What do we do for the, say, parapros, I guess, as far as the training, or how can we, I would assume, just for what it's worth, that it's a different style of child, so different challenges, and I know different age groups too, but how do we assist the parapros? What kind of special
Well,
training
that is
do
a
they
very
provide?
insightful question and a very good question. Several years ago, I would just be honest and say that's something we struggled with. So we've been very intentional about providing training to our parapros. We have included them with training with our teachers, and we are making a very concerted effort to do better about that. And I think in the past several years we have. We've created some guidance manuals specifically for parapros, because a lot of these parapros, they're great people, they've got the right heart, but they didn't go to school to be a teacher. But they still, if you're going to work with students that have the most significant needs, there's information you need to have, and I feel like we are doing a much better job of preparing those people.
So we're documenting, kind of make sure we prepare them to be prepared?
Yes, so they have PLCs, professional learning communities. So anytime we have meetings, of course, we have an agenda. We have, of course, what we're learning, and they have a sign-in sheet. So just like we do with teachers for professional learning, we keep up with that.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we got Mr. Larry Young. Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, good to see you this evening.
Sir.
Pleased to announce every 5 years, school systems go through a facilities review. And this is the year that we had to go through our review and renew. Our new plan will start in
Thank you very much.
July of 2024, our new fiscal year. So I'm pleased to announce that in January the 17th, we did in fact have a team to visit, and Dr. Dixon and myself, the whole central office, we hosted them. We did presentations, they reviewed our facilities, they reviewed our plans, and this is like the report card for the school system facilities. And we did in fact, I'll quote, received a 100 A+. So we were, very proud that everything went well. They were very complimentary. The group that was here was a group of superintendents from surrounding counties, several State Department of Education, district personnel, facilities personnel, and then Mr. Leonard McCoy, who is our liaison, that helps us quite a bit. And I'd like to say that we were able to achieve these high remarks by putting on having a good program in place, and of course, it doesn't just happen with me. It starts with Dr. Dixon's leadership and expectations, and then trickles down to the rest of us working hard, and it was definitely a team effort. And so, anyway, we did in fact receive some accolades, and we're very proud of that. And we were able to explain to them about the improvements that have taken place, not only in academic areas of instruction and facilities, but also the sports facilities as well. And of course, and we also explained to them that we're very conscious of making wise use of taxpayer dollars and spending them wisely, and providing something that generations to come can enjoy. And the final step to this process is you'll have a resolution to be signed at this meeting, and so we're asking that you adopt this resolution and sign on to our facilities plan for the next 5 years. And at that point, then this process will be complete. Any questions?
I got one little, ties in with that, but carpeting, I know, I guess, do we still have carpet in all the schools, or where are we at on getting all that going?
There is carpet in the facilities. Now, the elementary school has the most carpet, and we have swapped out some rooms, through the years and went to LVT tile or the VCT tile, the tile floors, and we do in fact have a plan in place that we're going to start replacing some carpet, and we've met with principals just recently and explained and put some priorities on that. And so yes, my personal goal would be to, before my tenure ends, is to have a lot of that carpet replaced.
Is it quite a bit we got left? And I guess there's a good bit remaining.
Yes, and the primary school, would have being it's the oldest facility, it would have the oldest carpet. But yeah, there are some needs at the facility, at primary, elementary, and middle school to replace some carpet. And of course, we're addressing that. We do have a plan in place for that to take place.
I think we all agree. We toured the schools, except we ain't been in an alternative school yet. But the other ones look great. I mean, the staff, the people that clean it, the halls, I mean, it's from Ben to everybody does a great job in all the schools.
Well, thank you. And tell you what, I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into these schools, and it's all day, every day too. I mean, you don't just try to keep things clean once in a while. I mean, every day you start fresh and get things going, and that includes, the custodial, that includes the grounds, also includes, the maintenance personnel as well, in making sure that everything's working and functioning. And like I said, we get up every day, work hard, do the best we can. And of course, as a result of this review, I think it proven out that the whole team has worked hard. And like I said, we did receive high grades and some very complimentary remarks. I was very proud to be a part of the process, and very proud that when your system looks good, then you look good. So, and of course,
But if we can get rid of that carpet, that'll probably cut down on sickness too, if we can get rid of that carpet.
Well, allergies and things, I would think so, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, with the little ones that are.
I would agree with that, so.
All right, any more questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Young.
Thank you so much, and you have a copy of this already. All right, thank you.
Okay, next up, we got Dr. Dixon with the superintendent's report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got a couple of field trips. Everything is in order. The first one is the Cook High School Skills USA going to Atlanta, February 22nd through the 24th. The proper paperwork has been filled out and everything is in order there. CHS baseball going to Johnson County in Wrightsville on February 23rd and 24th, competing in a tournament. Everything is in order there. Cook High School Y Club, Engage Club, going to Atlanta February 25th through the 27th, competing. Again, paperwork is in place. And the last one is Cook Middle School Y Club, Engage Club, going to Atlanta February 25th through the 27th. And all the paperwork has been filled out in its entirety and is in good shape, and we're requesting approval for that as well.
Could I just ask one question on that?
Sure.
The middle school and the high school are going to the same place,
Correct.
and they're going in separate?
Well, even right now, Miss Brenda, they only have, less than 10 going. So it depends on how many they wind up with as to whether they go one bus or cars with permission slips signed.
Oh, that's the middle school?
We're still waiting to see how many people, well, high school also.
Oh, okay.
Still waiting to see how many it comes in.
Well, I saw it was a go up and then come back and then go back up and pick them up.
Correct,
It just
but
sounded like a lot of,
May not be on a bus, so we're still waiting for
Okay.
the numbers to come in completely.
okay, thank you.
And then the last item I have is the financial update. If we could pull that up. I'm going to stand in for Jackie. You can see on our SPOS tax comparison for the month of January, we brought in $351,303.28. We're up $32,107.64. So that's definitely a move in the right direction. You can see our numbers at the bottom that Jackie gives us every month as far as where we are in reinvestment FY 2023 and reinvestment FY 2024. Moving on down to fund balance figures for FY 24, currently at the end of December, we have a fund balance of $6,327,059.48, and we're down this time last year $181,782.36. A lot of the local tax dollars did come in as expected in December, and of course we will have some more coming in January. So we're in good shape there. General fund balance, as you can see, ending fund balance $6,327,059.48. Our capital project fund, which includes the HVAC and in CHS Athletics and the Board of Ed, $3,163,957.02. Federal funds, we're running in a negative of $3,782,672.99. You hear Jackie say it every month, and I'm going to repeat her. We spend our money, and then we get reimbursed from the feds. School nutrition funds is still over $1 million, $1,005,989.58. So once again, I'm happy to report that financially, school district is in good shape. Any questions about, any additional questions about the field trips, or any questions about the finances? I may or may not know the answer.
I just want to bring up one thing. It's my understanding, and Ms. Lana here, that we got 2 buses, the electric buses came in.
They did, yeah. We got 2 buses came in. One of the charging stations, after they did all this work 4, 5, 6 months ago, is dead. It doesn't work. So they got to come now and redo the charging station for us. We are waiting on a tag for one of the bus that we can run. We're waiting on the tag on it. Actually, we're waiting on the tag on both of them. But we won't be able to run but one of them because we only have one good charging station. What's ironic is we were trying to get ahead of the game and have the charging stations complete, so when the buses came in, we could put them on the road. Well, I'll be dog if it didn't work out that way. But here and there, the buses are here, and so we're going to have them up and running before end of school if we have to plug them into a wall outlet. No, I'm kidding, but I think we will.
Good, all right.
I'm anxious to ride one. I want to just say I've done it. We might all want to do that one day.
Will they have to do special with those batteries like you hear on the news with the Teslas and with the cold weather and all? And they were talking about it was hard to get them charged or whatever. You'll just have. Okay. Well, it'll be good to see it.
For a little while anyway. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. Well, if there's no further business, we'll be adjourned the first meeting, and we'll start back up at 6:30, guys.
Thank you.
Say no.
Hey, don't start without me.
He ain't a real good patient.
Man, he's got to
Hey.
realize, he's got to realize it's a
Well,
time for it.
no, that's the only reason I was.
I'll give it a few minutes and I won't.
But one year it was. How many you want?
We usually do it on lunch.
Yeah, that's right, I always.
Who do I need to tell thank you? Who do I need to tell thank you?
Oh, my goodness, who's is that?
Yep. Hey, Raj.
The bags.
Good evening. We're gonna start our second meeting. If y'all would, I've got, Mr. William Baldry. He's the youth pastor at the Adel Church of God, to come up and give an invocation. He's also the retired Sunbelt Federation World Champion wrestler, and, he can keep you straight around here. He does at church. Come on up, if you would, Mr. Baldry. I hear you.
Hey, everybody, I am the youth pastor at Adel Church of God. Corky and I go to church together. He asked me to come in and do the opening prayer. So I am honored. Thank you for letting me come.
Thank you for coming.
All of you guys for letting me be here. I understand that we're gonna have some special recognition later on, so I wanna say this here. As a youth pastor, we get the opportunity, when we see a bunch of youth in the room, you know, we want to tell a little bit. So what I'm going to take a few minutes and say is no matter what you want to be in life, if you set your goal in life that you want to be a doctor, lawyer, board member, I mean, teacher, anything, look, I'm just saying, make sure you guys, you focus on getting that done, make it happen, because at the young age of 8 years old, I remember setting my goal in life that I wanted to be a professional wrestler. All my family kept telling me, no, you ain't gonna never make it, you'll never make it, you'll never make it. I never made it to the big time as far as in the WWE or any of those kind of crazy things, but I did meet a lot of legends, so the ones that's been in the WWE. So I want to emphasize that is, if you will, no matter how hard your dream is that you want to achieve, but you can achieve it with the people that's right around you, your support group. So, like I said, at the age of 8, I said I was going to be a
world heavyweight champion, and I was gonna take out the likes of all of them, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, Ric Flair, all of them. But, you know, they are a little bit older than I am, so I never got that opportunity. But I didn't get actually started in wrestling until I was around the age of 30. I had some setbacks. I had some issues, some health issues coming up when I was younger. My parents we were poor. We did come from a place where we had to pump the sunshine in. We were so poor, and it's on a county this way. I ain't gonna tell y'all where I come from, but it is over this way, because we always had that rivalry with Cook County. But I ain't gonna tell you, don't hold it against me, because I'm a Marion County rebel. But anyway, so, you know, the older I got, you know, I didn't make the opportunities in my late 20s, early 30s to become a professional wrestler. And you know, like I said, you young people that's in here, even I'm gonna say to the adults, if you want a career change or whatever, if you set your mind that you wanna do something and that's what your dream is, chase it, do it, make it happen. Because, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I'm a plumber now, but hey, I can say that in my whole time of doing this, I am a world champion, because the company that I last wrestled for, when I got ready to retire and quit, they did give me a championship belt for my commitment for doing the wrestling with them as long as I did. I've been from Tennessee all the way down to Florida, over to the East Coast and Alabama. So I did do a lot of traveling, got to meet a lot of folks. But anyway, we know we got to get to business, and we're running a little late, so I ain't gonna talk real long. But anyway, we're gonna open up in prayer tonight, and I appreciate all y'all coming. And like I said, I am honored to be here, and I thank you, each and every one of y'all. So if you bow your heads with me, Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity you give us to come tonight, Lord. Lord, we thank you for all these young people, these adults that's come out, Lord. Lord, we just ask you to go with us and guide us, Lord. Give us all wisdom and guidance, Lord, and walk in every step of life that we do. We ask it in your name we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you, William. I appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I want Mr. Baldry to understand one thing. That you may not have made it in the big time, but you working for the big man. And that's a lot more important than making it in the big time. You're saving souls, brother, and that's huge. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, next up, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask you to stand while Dr. Dixon leads us. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next up, we've got need a motion for the approval of agenda.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Sumner.
I
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon. Call for vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Next up, we've got this section for public comment. Do we have anyone?
We do not, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to recognitions. We've got Miss Jennifer Green coming up for Cook Elementary School. All right, and we'll meet you down front.
Man, John, I was gonna take your candy.
We thought that was fun.
Good evening. It has been wonderful this year so far at Cook Elementary School, and I'm honored to be here tonight to recognize several students. It's our mission and vision every day to empower and inspire all learners to grow and to achieve their greatest potential, and we could not do this without the partnership of our families, of our teachers, and our community. So we thank you all for your role in making sure that our students are getting what they need at Cook Elementary School. At this time, I can't tell you how much it warms my heart to see so many of our teachers here this evening, here to support their children. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the teachers and staff who are here. If you are part of the Cook Elementary School team, would you please take a moment to stand so we can recognize you? Parents, we want you to know who has been responsible for supporting your students and encouraging them to grow. And we thank you all for what you do each and every day. Thank you for being here tonight.
This year, our theme at Cook Elementary School is Hammering Our Way to Success, and one of our greatest goals this year is to see all of our students grow in all areas. And to achieve this, we know that determination and hard work are essential. Tonight, we are here to celebrate students who have met this challenge. We want to recognize their hard work and celebrate their tremendous growth. So at this time, we're going to recognize and honor some special students who stand out above the crowd. Students, as we call your name, you're going to come over to receive your certificate. We should remember when we come up, we shake with our right hand. Raise your right hand in the air. We're going to shake hands with our right hand, receive our certificate, and then you're going to come over and stand with Miss Taylor until we've called all the names in your group so that we can take a picture together. Parents, we want you to take advantage of the opportunity to get your pictures and your memories. So we're going to begin tonight by looking at our greatest beacon growth. Beacon is a tool that is provided by the state that we use to progress monitor our students 3 times a year, in August, in December, and then again in March, and it measures students on their grade level standards. We have found that Beacon aligns very closely with the Georgia Milestone Assessment and provides us with a pretty reliable prediction of their end-of-the-year performance. We assess this in areas of both language arts and math. There's a transition this year to new math standards, so we don't know yet exactly how those scores are going to align to the milestones. However, we do believe that these scores are giving us wonderful data points that we can use to help our students continue to grow. So tonight, we would like to recognize students in each grade level who have demonstrated the greatest amount of growth from August to December in both language arts and math. So in 3rd grade, in language arts, our student with the highest growth is Alex Warren in Miss Hilliard and Miss Register's classes. In math for 3rd grade is Miss Camilla Battle in Miss Barrett and Miss Lindsay's homeroom. In 4th grade for language arts, it's Mr. Jace Pitts and Miss Carter and Miss McDaniel's team. All right, and in 4th grade in math, our greatest growth was achieved by Salem Ray off of Miss Harry, Miss Kelly, Miss Sharam, and Miss Solorzano's team. In 5th grade for language arts, our highest growth for Beacon was achieved by Michael Miller from Miss Dixon, Miss Roteman, and Miss Howell's team. And in math, from Miss Brady, Miss Folsom, Miss Jackson, Mr. George, and Miss Tabor's team, Aaron Murphy. Let's give these students one more hand. These are our highest growth in Beacon. Another tool that we use to progress monitor our students is the Acadience assessment, and it targets specific skills in the areas of reading, specifically the foundational areas of reading. For students in grades 3 through 5, that targets oral reading fluency and their reading comprehension. So tonight, we're going to celebrate the 2 students in each grade who have achieved the highest growth according to their Acadience data from August to mid-year. So in 3rd grade, and both of these students are from Ms. Sermon's, Ms. Coward, and Ms. Smith's team, we are going to recognize Mr. Judd Bullard. And Mr. Tyrone Thomas. In 4th grade, from Miss Brady and Miss Mathis's team, Kinsley Taylor. And from Miss Turner and Miss Taylor's team, Riley Tucker. In 5th grade, from Miss Adams, Miss Clements, and Miss Mathis' team, Malia Anderson. And also from Miss Adams, Miss Clements, and Miss Mathis' team, Kylan Scruggs. All right, let's give them one more round of applause. All right, in keeping with our school theme, it has been our focus that it is now time to get to work, and our students have met this challenge very positively. Tonight, we're going to recognize our Golden Hammer Award recipients. They stand out as leaders of this charge through consistently having a positive attitude, making positive choices, both inside the classroom and out. So we are honored to recognize them here tonight. So these are 2 students that were nominated amongst their entire grade level as being students who stand out with very positive character, with hard work and dedication. So it's really something to be proud of. In 3rd grade, from Miss Register and Miss Hilliard's team, Matt Duran. And from Miss Mealer, Miss Phillips, Miss Howell, Miss Dunn, and Miss Jasinski's team, Cadence Harris. In 4th grade, from Miss Brown, Miss Ziegler, and Miss Mahan's team, Kaylee Henry. And from Miss Taylor and Miss Turner's team, Avia Daniels. In 5th grade, from Miss Dixon, Miss Howell, and Miss Roteman's team, Bella Pena. And from Miss Mathis, Miss Adams, and Miss Clement's team, Cohen Bullard. one more round of applause. While much of our focus at CES is on academics, we also believe in the importance of supporting the development of the whole child, and we believe our specials classes provide an opportunity for exploration and specialization of skills. Tonight, we will recognize a student from each of our specials areas who stands out as exceptional within that domain. So in art, tonight we would like to recognize Miss Lily Edwards. In music, Miss Alicia Amar.
single test date on the SAT and be in the top 10% or one of the top 10 students of the class based on GPA to qualify for a STAR nomination. Each year, the Cook County Chamber has been honored in recognizing these individuals for their hard work and dedication. However, this year is extra special because we get to honor 2 students and 2 teachers. This is a rare occasion that it is a tie. We are very proud to recognize Cook High School seniors Alion Fasel and Viraj Patel as the 2024 Page Student. Star students. Allian selected Mr. Bill Durrance as his star teacher, and Viraj chose Ms. Heather Morris as his star teacher. Could you please come forward? These selections speak volumes to their continued passion for teaching and the impact they make on our student lives. We are very proud of this group and the academic excellence that they exemplify at Cook High. We look forward to celebrating them at the Regional Star Banquet in March. Congratulations.
All right, we're fixing to get to the work part of this session. If anybody wants to be excused, now would be the time. Take a minute. If y'all want to hang around, you're welcome to.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, John Smith, but yeah.
Check with Miss Jennifer Green,
Yeah, Coach Smith, I think you come up with one that was.
Pitts. Was his last name Pitts?
John Smith, Mr. Smith, can you help this father up here, please?
feed me good that night? Gonna feed me good that night? What we eat?
All right, guys, hey, y'all get a seat last week. I'm playing. No. All right, next up, we've got the work session and the regular session. I'll need a motion.
I make a motion, we approve both work session and the regular session from January 8th, 24.
Awesome. Need a second?
I second.
Thank you with the second, Miss Brenda. If there's any questions, if not, then I call for vote. Unanimous. All right, next up, we have action items. We need a motion on the school calendars.
I make a motion, we approve the calendar for 24, 25, and then 25, 26.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, call for vote. All in favor? All opposed? 4-1. All right, personnel. Need a motion on personnel as presented. And we did get the updated list.
Make a motion, we approve the personnel as presented.
I second it.
Thank you. Call for vote. Unanimous. All right. Next up, item C is school nutrition salary scales. We have a motion on that.
Make a motion that we approve the school nutrition salary scales for 24 and 25.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon.
I'll second.
Thank you for the second. Call for vote on that. And that does look unanimous. All right, item D, the 5-year local facilities plan. We need a motion for this, please.
I make a motion, we accept the 5 years local facilities plan.
Thank you, Ms. Brenda. We need a second on that.
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon. All right, no questions. Call for vote. Unanimous. Field trips, item E. Need a motion for field trips.
Make a motion to approve the field trips.
I second.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sharon, for the motion. Thank you, Mr. Jeff, for the second. Call for vote if no questions. Okay, unanimous. All right, are there any other matters by board members that need to be brought up? Okay, hearing none, do we have any other matters by the superintendent?
No, sir, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, guys. Well, I think that'll get us on out of here. Thanks for coming. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Turnout.